Hey everyone, today let's talk Airbnb, VRBO, and how investors are starting to lose a ton of money in the business because bookings are down, prices per night are down, and lots of people are choosing to travel internationally now that it's open. So, what that means for you. So, let's go over some of the details quick and then we'll get into what you can do as an investor moving forward with inflation skyrocketing still, the economy pumping the brakes as rates skyrocket, and inventory levels of homes available for sale are still low. So, over the past few years, if you've purchased a property to Airbnb, VRBO, midterm rental, whatever the case is, your profit margins right now are a lot less than they used to be. Airbnb is down about 50%. Their stock is year to date. They just had a nice little pop the last few days, about 8 to 10%. But pricing is coming down all over the place because A, oversaturation in most markets of Airbnb properties. And if your property is not right on the beach or within walking distance to the beach or this on the ski hill, wherever the case is, people are choosing to go into resorts and hotels because they're not getting a laundry list of items to do when they check in, during their stay, or after they check out. Dishes, window cleanings, shoveling, whatever the case is. As some hosts are now, you know, suggesting that people do while they stay there. When people are on vacation, they want to get treated like they're in a hotel, no matter if they're staying in a hotel or if they're staying in an Airbnb property. So what does that mean for you with, pricing of properties that used to be 350, 450, $500 a night are now down in the 200s because there's a lot more competition because everyone thought it was the next best thing and everyone got into it in the last few years. The profits are down because property taxes, insurance rates, and costs of maintaining these properties have gone through the roof in the last couple of years with supply chain issues and whatever else. But the good news is that no matter what your situation that you're in, if you're going to keep this property long term and it's doing well for you, awesome. Keep it long term, let the mortgage pay for itself, and go from there. But if you're one of these investors that's in a situation right now to where you're used to making a profit and now you have a property to where you have to pay for things every single month because it's not sustaining itself, there's great news for you because if you bought it in the last couple of years, you should have had some market appreciation. So you still have some equity built into the property. And if it's not doing so well on Airbnb because of oversaturation, bookings are down, people aren't traveling as much, inflation's high, you can still make a profit off this property by selling it or turning it into a long-term rental if the numbers make sense. If you bought it as a long-term rental and then turned it into a short-term rental to cover your debt ratio and expenses every single month. But if you didn't do that, if you just bought strictly based on Airbnb numbers, short-term rental numbers, you're probably in trouble right now. So what that means for you is do not panic. Inventory levels in the for sale market are still super low all over the country. Some markets like Las Vegas, California, inventory levels starting to go up because the high interest rates are creating buyers to panic because they can't afford anything. But if you have one of these properties in markets, Minnesota, Florida, mountains, whatever the case may be, you still can potentially put this property on the market, sell it, make a decent profit on the back end, and maybe start over again when Airbnb is back, short-term rentals are back, and a lot less people are doing it because a lot of people are going to get hurt in this industry, and a lot of people are already starting to get hurt in this industry, having to cover bills themselves because the property is no longer sustaining itself. So think about that. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Minnesota, Southeast Florida, happy to help. There's still a lot of great opportunities out there. There's still lots of ways for real estate investors to make money, but it's just getting tougher and tougher as banks tighten up with funding, as interest rates keep going up and affordability is way down. So for 2023, remember, if you are in trouble now, sell as soon as you can because, as we learned last time, real estate is the slowest moving asset of them all. And the high appreciation that we had in the last 2 years, it's going to take a while for that to go downwards. So make sure that you sit down, look at your investments, and if they don't longer make sense, now might be the best time for you to sell, get out of those investments, and take the cash, sit on it for a while, wait for the property prices to go down, interest rates to get lower, and repurchase those investment properties back again. So if you're in trouble, Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rentals, second properties, third, fourth, fifth, it might not be the time to get rid of those properties, still make a decent profit, and move on from that investment. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My information's in the comments below. Have an amazing day.